If you are looking to create some fun and easy Christmas DIYs using Dollar Tree items to make like some really nice, affordable pieces for this Christmas season, then this is the right video for you. All right, so let's jump right into these super easy Christmas DIYs that you can create with some of the fun items that they do have at Dollar Tree. Let's make some easy, fun Christmas decor using items from Dollar Tree. All right, so I have this set. It comes in three. They're about an inch and a half of these like little wood dice. You can see they have like kind of that shape of a dice. But we're going to use these to make a little snowman. They do have bigger blocks if you want to make a bigger one. But this would be cute for like if you're decorating a tier tray or something like that. So I'm going to give it a couple of coats of paint with this white paint. I'm going to paint around all of the sides, the top, the bottom, all of it. You're going to be putting it together, but if you wanted to leave it apart, that's why I'm painting it around all the sides, because I hadn't yet decided if I wanted to leave it apart or not. So this is how it looks with one coat. And then I came back in and I did a second coat. I was thinking about distressing it, just giving it a little bit of distressing, but I didn't do that. So once everything dries, then you can take and start to decorate it. So first, I'm going to put the hat together. I did want to use one of the little straw hats. Dollar Tree has like little straw hats for the fall. I thought I had an extra one. I didn't. So I'm going to make one out of these Jenga blocks and then these wooden cubes from Dollar Tree. I'm taking 8 of the cubes and stacking those up. I was going to use this little stamp here because I don't use those, but it was just a little bit too small, even though this is not super big the way I put the cubes together, but it worked out. So I'm gluing 3 of the Jenga blocks together and then letting those dry. You can use wood glue on this too, but hot glue if you wanted to just snap right away, get it together. And then I'm doing the little wood cubes. So first I put down a base of 4. I did push it closer towards the front or wherever I wanted the front to be of the hat. And then I stacked 4 more on top of there, glued that all together. And then this is how it looks. So he has a cute little hat and you can see it's pushed towards more of where I have it for the front. And then I gave it a coat of black paint. I painted on the top and on the bottom around all the sides and in all the cracks for this right here. I put that to the side when I was done and let that dry. And now I'm going to work on the face. I have my little wood skewer. You can draw this with a pen, a Sharpie or something like that. But I'm just going to take and dip the pointy end of the wood skewer in the paint there. And then I'm just going to draw just a little face. Depending on how much paint you put on it, depending on how much thickness you'll get. So I made a little mouth. We're going to do like a little open mouth. And then I'm going to put a little tongue in there later. So it's like a little smile there. And then I'm going to just do the eyes. It's going to have closed little eyes. And you can see I dipped in the paint thick there. So those are thicker right there, the eyes. And then I'm just going to draw like a little freestyle, oh my gosh, I can't think. Carrot nose. I'm gonna draw a little freestyle carrot nose right there. And then you can touch up the pieces. But like I said, you can do this with a Sharpie if you don't want to use paint. Just you want it to be just a little bit vibrant. I find the paint just gives it a little bit of vibrance. The Sharpie does work well, but it's just not as vibrant. I'm giving them a little bit of eyelashes here so you can tell those are eyes, but you can do it without doing the eyelashes. You can do the face in so many cute little different ways. You can go on Pinterest and get some ideas if you want to do a little different face. And then once that dried, like I said, I'm going to come in and I'm going to give it just a little red tongue there. So I drew out the little tongue shape. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to just dip in the red and then orange for the nose. So that's just real easy, real simple. And then it has its little face. For the buttons, you can use anything for the buttons too. You can paint on the buttons too if you don't want to put anything else on there. But I'm just going to glue these little like black berry pieces to it for the buttons there, and then I'm going to glue everything together. But like I said, you can leave this separate and then like kind of take it apart. It looks cute taking it apart too, but I'm going to just stack mine together with the glue, and then I'm going to glue on the hat on top of there, making sure that piece that I wanted to come towards the front is at the front. And then for the scarf, you can use like a ribbon. I felt that was a little too thick. So I'm just going to take this fabric that I got from Dollar Tree in the crafters section, and I'm just going to cut a little thinner strip so it's not as thick. Measure that out for how long I want the scarf once it is tied. And then I'm going to use the extra fabric to go just across the hat. You don't have to put anything there. You can put some cute little greenery there too if you wanted to, but I glued that down. And that was basically it for our cute little snowman. If you like, give it a big old thumbs up. Another way to use those Dollar Tree stacked pumpkins, I'm going to be using this one to make a Christmas DIY. So you can do this again with the big ones, but I'm going to be using the $1.25 ones. So I was just trying to figure out which order I was going to do it in, because I'm going to do like three different little faces for the Christmas theme. I decided to go with a dark brown, kind of like a chocolate brown on the bottom. For the top one, I'm going to do a white, and then for the middle one, I'm going to do a mixture. You can just use a tan color paint if you want, but I like the way it comes out when you mix it, because you kind of get both colors in there, if that makes sense. It kind of looks like a chalky kind of look to it. So I did two coats of those, and once those dried, I started putting the faces on them. So just real easy, real simple. I'm freestyling it. But again, if you have a Cricut, a cutting machine, or anything like that, or you want to use a stencil, you can do that. So for the bottom one, I'm going to be doing like a gingerbread kind of look face. So you could go around with this. You can go in the front just like I did. You can do this in different ways, but I just did the little line around the front, and I'm going to fill it in and make sure it's a little bit neater. And then again, just freestyling, I'm going to put some eyes in there. For these, I just did one coat. For the paints that's on top, I just did one coat for those, and then just a cute little smile. I realized after I was done, it's not centered. So just if you want to just make sure it's nice and centered, just pay a little more attention to that. I noticed that when I went to go put on the little cheeks. You can also dye down the cheeks by just rubbing it off before it dries, so that it's not as bright if you didn't want it as bright, or mixing it down with the white so then you have more of a lighter chalky color. And then for the second one, I'm gonna be doing a reindeer face. So for this one, again, just coming in with the nose, there was a little bit of black paint left on my paintbrush, but that's okay, because then it kind of gave it like a little shading like. But I just went and I put the red paint on for the nose and freestyled the little nose shape. And then for the sides, for the cheeks, just to give them a little color, I put the red paint there too. And then once that dried, I did come in and put a few little white dots in those. Same with the eyes. Once the eyes dried, I did come in and put a little white dot in those. And then I drew like a little line for the thing. You can, if you wanted to, add little antlers and just have it sticking out in the middle of the stacked pumpkins, but I didn't do that. But I thought about doing it, but you can just go ahead and you can do that. And then for the snowman on top, I'm just again freestyling the face, making a little face, and then I'm going to fill in the eyes a little more. And then for the nose, I put some orange. You could add just a little piece of something so it has like that little look to it. And then, so for the snowman, we're going to give him a little scarf, but then on top of the scarf, to play along with the reindeer, we're going to add a little bow. So it's like a 2-in-1. So I did a little scarf with the plaid ribbon, and then put this bow together. And then I left it little twine pieces there. And then it's kind of the reindeer's bow. But like I said, you could add a little antlers if you want. You can do a lot of different things with this just to make it your own. You can also do them in different orders too, if you wanted to. And then I gave the little gingerbread piece, I gave her a little bow too. And then I just laid a few of these bows, so each one smaller than the other one. And then I tied it together with some twine, and I just hot glued that on there. And that was really it. And then I decided to give him a little hat at the top. I got these, you get a 4-pack from Dollar Tree, the little scarecrow hats. And I just cut a little hole. I pushed it down too hard because the top of the hat started to separate from the bottom of the hat or the middle of the hat, but it was okay because it's like, that rough kind of look. But I cut a little hole and then glued it all back together and glued it on top of the snowman. And this is how it came out. And I just think that's so super cute and fun to make. And you can do this, like I said, in a lot of different ways. Let's make these easy two clothespin ornaments that you can make for Christmas. You can do these for other things too, but we're going to make them into ornaments. So for the first one, I'm going to make two of these, and these are going to be snowmen. So I'm going to take two clothespins. I'm going to take them apart. They're real easy. I got these clothespins from the Dollar Tree. They come in that big old pack right there. And then when you put them together, they look like that. So you can make a lot of cute little Christmas items with these clothespins too. I'll do more as the time goes on, but we're going to do these first. So I'm just going to paint them white. You don't have to worry about painting the bottom part, like the inside part, because those are going to go together. But I'm giving it a coat of white, getting in all of the cracks, and then letting that dry. Once it dries, then I'm going to glue them together, so each side matching.
So I'm just, like you see, I didn't paint in the inside there. I'm just gonna give it a light hint of glue. You don't want it to be too heavy because you don't want it to be uneven. You want it to kind of butt up as close as possible. So you don't want a big gap there. So just enough glue to keep it together. And then I'm going to take some black paint and I'm going to use my little skewer just to make little eyes and little buttons for the snowman. Real easy, real simple. You can also do this with a pen or a marker if you don't want to do it like that. You can get real creative with this too. And then I'm going to take some orange paint, use the same skewer, and just create a little nose there, just drawing it out a little rough. And that is it, like really for the body and the face. And then just give it a little scarf. I have this fabric from Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to take and cut it big enough to tie it. You can make it longer. You can use scraps that you might have around. You can use twine. You can use a bunch of different things. But I'm going to take this twine and I'm going to put it on the back so that we have something to hang it because it is a ornament. And that is it for that one. And then now on to this one, we're going to make some reindeer. So we're going to use the same clothespins. We're going to take them apart. We're going to paint them the same way, wait for them to dry, and then we're going to glue them together the same way that we glued the snowman together, with the sides matching up and the flat parts going together. So for this one though, you're going to need 2 clothespins for each one to make each reindeer, if that makes sense. So then I'm going to glue those together at the bottom parts and they create like a little V. Got these pack of eyes. You can get these from Dollar Tree. So they come in different sizes. I'm going to use the smallest size. I was going to use the other size, but it kind of looks a little buggy. And then I'm going to use these beads. So I was debating on between that bead and then this bead. You don't use a little pom-pom. You can use a bunch of different things. You can paint a little nose on it if you wanted to. But I went with like this square-like one. And then I'm just going to glue everything down. And then to make the antlers, the antlers, I'm going to use some faux greenery from Dollar Tree. It's not seasonal, so you can just use any greenery that has like kind of that Christmas look. But they do have a lot of cute Christmas style greenery at Dollar Tree right now. So I took and cut some like matching sizes off of that because they come like 3 leaves on each one, and then I'm gonna glue that down, and then I'm gonna make a cute little bow to go in the middle. So I just took some ribbon and cut a small piece because I don't want it to be too big and overpower the little reindeer. So I'm just going to make a little one and just close off the back and then pinch it together and then wrap it with some twine, if that makes sense. So I went around a few times and then tied it closed. And then I'm just going to glue it to the little reindeer. I also cut a piece of twine, just like I did for the other one, to be able to hang it. But that was really it. And you can do these in different ways. You can do it with different things for the antlers. You can leave off the bow if you don't want the bow. You can get really creative with this. And you can also match these with your own personal decor. You don't have to do that dark of a wood. You can do a lighter color. I had used like a chestnut one, or you can leave it in its natural state. You can do these in so many different ways, but these are just super cute, super easy, and these are fun for the kids to make too, to put on a tree this season. If you like, give it a big old thumbs up.
Another quick way to use those Dollar Tree stack pumpkins, these are the $1.25 ones. All right, so you'll take it apart and you can make so many cute things. This one is going to be kind of a Christmas style one. I was debating on using the extra piece that I have from another one that I did to make it like really tall, but I'm just going to use the 3 pieces that it does come with. And again, you can do these on the big one. I'm going to be using like light colors because it's kind of like a Candyland type theme for this one right here. I was worried the yellow was going to be dark, but once you put on 2 coats and it dries down, so then that orange is not popping through as much, you don't really see it. It could have used another coat because there was still some little spots of the orange popping through, but that's okay because it gives it like a nice little look. And then I'm gonna be taking some of the cork from Dollar Tree. You can get this like in the hardware section. And I love this stuff because I use it just about on everything, but you can use something else if you want. I started spreading it out with my finger, but then I quickly changed and just used a little spreader to lay it out. And I also stacked the pieces together so that way I can make sure I had everything in the cracks and different things before I finished. And then while it's still dry, you can do this after if you want to though too. I got these little like beads from Dollar Tree, but they kind of look like sprinkles, the long ones. So I'm going to be using those. You can use other things, little, if you can get like little pieces that look like gumdrops, I think that would be cute in here too. You can do this a bunch of different ways, but you can just drop the sprinkles on, or you can put them on individually. And then I put some glitter, and again, you can use colored glitter if you want. And then this is how it came out. So quick and so fun. Let's make this Christmas decor piece using items from Dollar Tree. All right, so Dollar Tree has these little hoops. They come in a set. You can grab those. And then these calendars. So I have two different ones. I was trying to decide which one I was going to use. And you can do this for more than just Christmas. So if you're looking for fall decor, you can see they have different pictures for every month of the year. So you can do this for Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. You can do this just for spring, for summer, for fall, just all of the seasons. You see, you just put and pick a piece of the sign. If you get a bigger hoop, you can get a bigger piece of the sign. But you don't want to go too big because you're not going to have enough because it's just a little bit bigger than letter paper. So yeah, you want to just make sure, or you can do this with a picture frame. You can do this in so many different ways, but we're going to be using the hoops. So I decided on going with this joy sign. I thought that was cute, simple, festive. But first I'm going to paint the ring. I'm going to paint it this chestnut brown color. You can use a stain. You can use a different color based on what your home decor colors are. But I just gave it one good coat. I went around the inside, the outside, and the top of it. The back of it doesn't matter because you're going to be putting that down. And then just to add a little more stability, I'm going to use the cardboard that came with the calendar just to make the backing of it. So I'm just taking and cutting it out the shape of the sign here. I measured from the inside and just cut a little bit bigger. If you have excess, you can trim that off. You can trim it to fit flush in the sign. You can do it a bunch of different ways. And then now I'm just going to measure out the calendar picture to fit on top of that cardboard piece of paper. I'm measuring that from the outside because I don't want to cut too little and then it doesn't fit. So I measured it just a little bit bigger so that I had that little space to play with there. And then I'm going to take it, I'm going to glue that down. I'm just using regular Elmer's glue to put mine down. You can use Mod Podge, you can use hot glue. If you use hot glue, you just want to make sure whatever glue you spread it out so it's a nice even coat and you don't have like, if you use hot glue, you don't want those big lumpy bumpies, if that makes sense. So once that dries, then I'm just going to take and I'm going to put those two pieces together. So I'm just taking some hot glue and putting it around because my sign is just a little bit bigger than the inside. So it's just on top of there. I did come down too fast and it stuck so quick. So I had a little extra to the side, but that was okay. I just trimmed that off and that was no problem. So you want to make sure that when you are laying it down, you lay it down as slow as possible so that you can get it nice and centered and you don't have to worry about adjusting it after the fact like I had to do mine. But that is it for that part. And then you can just leave it just like that. You don't have to do this extra part, but just to make it, give it that ornament look, to give it that, Christmas vibe, you can go ahead and you can add a little top. You can use just a regular, you can find a bunch of pieces probably at Dollar Tree to make the little top, but I just cut mine out of that extra cardboard there. So I just freestyle a little piece right here. You can measure this out, but it just worked out just fine doing it that way. So I cut that out, then cut out the middle, and then I'm just going to give it a little coat of paint with some silver paint, because the ornaments usually have those cute little silver tops on it. And like I said, this is real easy, real simple to do. And the gray kind of goes with the joy mason jars that are in there too. So it kind of goes together. And then once that dried, I just hot glued that down. And if you wanted to jazz up your back, you could add some felt there and just make everything nice and pretty. But if you're going to hang this on the wall or something like that, you don't really need to do that. And you can also, I'm going to use mine as a leaner though, but if you're going to hang it, you can also hang it by that little ornament piece. I would just double up on those pieces. And then I just made a bow out of this plaid and this red here. I thought those went cute together. And again, I thought they complemented the sign that was there. So what I just did was just cut the ends on an angle, and these are wired bows too. So I just cut the end on an angle and then I scrunched it together and just added some twine and then tied it in a knot. I looped that around a couple of times just to, give it that twine look. And then I glued down some faux greenery to this and the bow, and that was really it. And then I had my cute little ornament sign. Like I said, I'm using mine as a leaner, but you can use yours to hang on the wall if you want. If you like, give it a big old thumbs up.
This easy Christmas DIY using those Jenga blocks from Dollar Tree. I have this scrap piece of wood. I think it was like from some scallops or something. It came in a pack, but you can use just regular scrap wood. Dollar Tree has the little planks and stuff that you can use to put for the base. You can use something else, or you can do it without a base because they will stand up by themselves. But I'm just going to take the Jenga blocks and you're going to do it as big as you want. You can start out at the top, just making a little peak, and then going in and keep on going down. Once you get to the base of how big you want it to be, you can spread them out, you can push them in, and then you'll just put a base of the Jenga blocks there just to keep it together. And then I'm just using hot glue. You could use wood glue, you could use a combination of it, and then I'm going to glue them together. I'm gluing the bottom ones on an angle, so you'll probably have to hold it in place just until everything dries nice. But mine did fine. I just pushed them together and laid it flat. A little bit of glue to get on the table, but this table is easy on glue, so I was able to just adjust it, and then I adjusted it as I was gluing it too, so that it didn't stay solid. So I just went up to the top, and then once I got to the top, you can see it's kind of separated, but you can just push them together and then glue that. So you can adjust these to be different sizes, different shapes. I made two different size ones for mine. You can make a bunch and make a whole little scene. You can add some snowmen to it. It could be super cute. So this is how that one looks. And then I made another one. And then now I have two. I made them different sizes so that it can look like, I've seen these pieces in like stores and stuff. So it can look like that. I painted one red and I painted one white. I painted the base white too. I painted around all the edges. I didn't worry about the bottom because you're not going to see that. For the trees, I painted around the front, the back, all the pieces except for the bottom. You can do it kind of a two-tone look because you see the wood looks nice in there. So you can just like paint just the front and then have the wood on the side and then the inside, or you can paint the fronts and the sides and have the wood peeking out. You can do it a bunch of different ways. You can paint it in different colors to fit in with your scheme for the season. I have these little straw-like bows left over from something else from Dollar Tree that I popped off. So I'm just going to add some little ribbon detail to it. So I'm just making like a little rag ribbon bow. I forgot what you call it. But I just stacked up different pieces of ribbon, and then I'm just tying them together with twine. And then I went around a few times and tied it a few more times and then cut off the tail of that. And then once I was done, I just stacked them together. So I just glued it to that little straw bow that was there. I was trying to find the right direction for it to go. And then I glued those also onto the top of the trees. You can hang little bells. Dollar Tree has like a pack of little bell ornaments. You can hang those in there. You can do a bunch of cute little different things. You can decorate this with florals. You can do so many different things. But I glued the trees onto the base. I glued one in the front, one in the back, and then I added the little bows, and that was really it. It is so simple, so easy. And like I said, you can customize this in so many different ways. So if you like, give it a big old thumbs up. And a quick fun Christmas DIY that you can do using Dollar Tree items. So Dollar Tree has a ton of these little house shapes in the craft section. Love those. And then I'm just going to make little trees. I drew them out in advance, but I'm going to cut them with cardboard. But I'm going to cut out this as like my template, but you can just draw them straight onto the cardboard, or you could use wood trees. At the time when I did it, I didn't have the little wood trees, but then in the middle of doing this, I did go to Dollar Tree and I found some wood trees. But I cut mine with cardboard. Like I said, I cut the paper out as a template and then went and just used a postal box. You know, you get those free at the post office. And then I'm just using the template to cut out the cardboard. And I just wanted it to be thicker. Like you can paint a tree directly on there, but I just wanted it to be thicker, kind of elevated from the little house. And then I'm going to cover them in fabric. This plaid fabric I got from Dollar Tree, and this one I got from Dollar Tree too in the crafters section. They come like in little rolls. I'm going to glue that down. I wanted to use this ribbon. I thought it was wide enough to cover the other tree, but it wasn't. But it's like a pretty little like velvet. I don't know if you can see it, like the black parts are like a velvet. I thought that'd be pretty, but it wasn't wide enough to cover the tree. So I'm just going to glue it face down, put that down, let that dry, and then just cut around the outer edge, but enough to fold over. So it doesn't look the neatest when you do it, but you can always go back and you can clean up all of your edges. You can put some stop fray on there. You can burn the edges to make sure they don't fray, but you can do it in a bunch of different ways. But I just cut into it, folded it over, glued that down around all of the edges. Once I had the front glued on, I held it down, let it dry. Make sure you don't burn your fingers because this fabric is like a little burlap, so it has like holes in it. So once I was done with both of those and everything dried, then I glued it down to the little house form there. And like I said, you can do a bunch of cute little things. You can do snowmen, you can do a bunch of cute little different things for this right here. Some 3D snowman might look good on this too. I might do another one. So, and then I have these faux greeneries. You can get these from Dollar Tree, and I have different ones that I'm picking, and I'm just going to do this on both sides. So once I picked out how I wanted it to lay out, I just glued them down individually so that they can stay. You can also staple them down if you want to. You just want to make sure that they're nice and secure. So once I was done gluing those down on both sides and I made sure everything dried, this is how it looks. And then I'm just going to put in the middle, you can put a bow. I put a big like Christmas style floral there in the middle. But like I said, you can put a bunch of different things. I put both. I put the bow and the floral piece. And I did another plaid, not the exact same plaid that's on the tree, but I think they play well together. So I just did like a basic little ribbon stack in different sizes together, real simple. And then I wrapped it up with some twine and then tied it in the back, cut that off. And then I'm just going to glue all of those down into place and then let that dry. Now there's a little hole. You can put this back as a hanger if you want, but I'm going to just close up that little hole there, real easy, real simple. Like, and then I'm just painting it with some gray just to cover that up. It's not a perfect color match, but I did a bunch of it so that it kind of blended in. And then I'm going to take this little rope. It's kind of thick. It's a little thicker than twine, but not as thick as the nautical rope. And I'm just going to take and put that around the edge of the plaid tree there just to give it just a little extra detail on there. So it's just real easy, real simple. I went all the way around, and then when I was done, I just cut it off. And again, if you wanted to make it really neat, you can like burn that, put some glue there just to make sure it doesn't fray. But that was it. You can also make this a sitter if you wanted to put a piece of wood behind it to make sure it sits up nice. This is the kit that I found with the trees in it after. So all of this comes in a little kit. It's super cute. It's like it's in the Christmas section, where it's like a craft, project that you can do with the kids and stuff. And then they sit in this little stand right here. So you can make like a little nativity scene. You can do a bunch of different things with this. They have different ones too. And then they have these stickers. I'm going to end up using some of these stickers for the wording because thought a little wording here would look cute, or you can also cut something out with your Cricut, but I went with the Mary. And then this is how it came out. So easy, so simple, and you can customize this in so many different ways. If you like, give it a big old thumbs up. And now for this one, another easy one. So this is a little small wreath that you can get. You can get these at Dollar Tree, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, all over the place. And then I have these little berries, and I'm just going to make a berry wreath. Basically, you can make this on a bigger scale if you want. These they don't pop off like the other ones, and so I'm just going to cut them. There might be a little bit of wiring in there, but you can still cut those with scissors. And then I'm just going to hot glue them down. You can, if you wanted to, you'd have to get like some real thin thread, and you can tie these down too if you were worried about them coming off. But if you use a good amount of glue and you hold it in place till it dries, they stay on rather well. And then I'm just doing mine in bunches. You can do yours all the same color, but I am alternating the colors that I am using. And then this is how it came out. It is so pretty. The gold just pops, and they kind of go together and still have that same boho vibe. So these are two easy wreaths that you can do, and a lot of the items you can get from the Dollar Tree, except of course for the macrame cord, but you can do that in like nautical rope if you wanted to. But this is just two easy, fun wreath projects that you can customize to go along with your personal home decor style. And then this is a sign that I made using my Cricut. You can just get a canvas and you can cut out craft paper, you can cut out Cricut vinyl, and you can make let's do this easy Christmas DIY that you can do. So we're going to do a candle holder. So I just had that there for a reference so that I can see the size that I wanted to do it. But we're going to be using items from Dollar Tree. First, these cups, not the whole cup, just the base of it. You can see they go together, so they come apart, and you get a few in a pack. This wood skewer also from Dollar Tree. My ornaments, I didn't get them from Dollar Tree, but you can get ornaments from Dollar Tree. You want to make sure they are the plastic-like ones, so you can do this to them. You're going to find the center of the bottom, and you can just take your hot glue gun while it's heated and just make a hole. The best way to go in, I noticed, was from that way. If you try to go the other way, because you kind of push the hole inward, it's not that easy to get it coming from the other way. So it's the best to do it when you push in the hole in to put the skewer in the same kind of way. And then you're just going to stack them up as tall as you want it. Like I said, I was using that candle holder as a reference. So the first one I did that size, and then the other one I did just a little bit smaller so I can have two different size ones. But I just wanted to show you that you can use any type of ornament, as long as it's like circular, it'll stack up nice. Because you see this one right here has little details on it. We have like the glitter one there, and then we just have the regular one. But you can see when I try to go the other way, even though the hole is big enough, it doesn't really go that way. So it's best to go the other way for it. So I stacked up about 4 with this skewer right here. And like I said, you can do it shorter because I did a shorter one. You'll just snip off the excess of it. But I stacked up 4, and then once I made sure I had everything the way that I wanted it to look, then I just went in with some hot glue and I glued the skewer into the base there. And then I glued everything together and the top piece on. This piece, the opening for the ornament, isn't as small as the skewer is. So it doesn't slide into the little base piece of the plastic cup. But if you use enough glue, or if you cut that piece off, then you'll be able to get it nice and flush. But I just used a ton of glue to get mine on. So like I said, I glued in the bottom and then just put some glue so that they can stay in place. You want to make sure that when you're doing this, because my skewer is a little bit smaller than the base hole that's there, you want to make sure you're doing it nice and straight, because if you do want to put a candle on there at the end, you want to make sure that it's able to hold up the candle and it's not leaning. So you want to make sure that everything is nice and straight. And you can see there where I'm putting a ton of glue, but I'm just also making sure it's straight. And you can see the little gap that is there, but that's going to be okay. We're going to fix that. And then I just spray painted the top and the bottom, but you can do this in so many different colors. You can do it with red, you can do it with green, because they have spray paint in so many different colors. But just to fill in those gaps, and you can do this with a bunch of different things. I'm just going to use some Christmas style greenery. So I just pluck those off of the stem, and then I'm gluing the base, and then you could sit and let that dry. It's dries better laying down, but you just want to make sure that it's to the glue so that it can dry in place. And then once that is glued, then you'll wrap it around and glue it down again, if that makes sense, the little tip at the end. Make sure not to touch it, the glue, and burn your hand though. But I glued down the base, and then once those dried, I came back in and I went all the way around and glued that down. And again, I had to hold it in place until it dried, but you don't want to touch the glue. You just want to like kind of hold it around it, if that makes sense, or put something there to just to help it stay down. But you want to make sure that the glue starts to dry before you let go so that it can stay down. And then this is how it came out. Like I said, you can embellish this in so many different ways, but if you like, give it a big old thumbs up.
Let's make
And
this
I
easy.
will.
Dollar Tree centerpiece tablescape for Christmas. Okay, so I have these little trees because you know Dollar Tree has the trees for all the seasons. I have these left over from Valentine's Day. I have 3 of them. You can use 2 of them. You can put them together like that, and then it'll have that space in the middle. Or if you put them closer together, it'll be shorter, but there'll be full coverage, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to attach them with some zip ties, and then you can use as many as you want. You can use something else if you don't want to use the zip ties, but I find that the zip ties work really well. And I also have folded up the branches, so kind of it has like a flat bottom, so all of the branches are going upward. Now for the third one, I'm going to take it, I'm going to put that in the center just so we can have some of those pieces in the center, because I don't have the little, like, with the little sprigs you put into your tree, the extra ones. I don't have any pink ones. So just to keep it all pink, I'm just going to put that third one in the middle there. And then I just use the zip ties to put that down too. Once it was nice and secure, then I just cut off the tails of the zip ties, which you want to be careful not to cut off any part of the little tree there. And Dollar Tree, like I said, has these trees in different colors. I know Christmas stuff is coming out now. So they'll have these in white and then in green. So you won't be able to find the pink if you didn't get the pink before at Valentine's Day. And then for the middle, I'm going to put something near the middle. You could put a bunch of different things. I'm going to use this cone. I thought about adding some snowmen and making like a whole little scene, but I just kept it real nice and simple. I'm taking this ribbon, and you can get ribbon at Dollar Tree too. You can get it at Michael's, at Hobby Lobby, all the good places. And to secure it in place, I'm just going to wrap it around the branches, or wrap the branches around the ribbon.
if that makes sense. So just, you want to wrap it so that it's nice and secure. You can give it a little tug to make sure it won't go anywhere. And then we're kind of doing like a little bubble ribbon, kind of like you would do with a wreath if you were doing like a wreath. So I'm just taking a little section, like folding it up so it creates like a little bubble, and then taking to secure it to the piece, just wrapping around the branch. And then I'm just going to keep doing that all the way around. So the front side and the back side of it, you can do like a bunch of different ribbon kind of details on this. You can go ahead and you can do it without the ribbons, but I just think the ribbons add like a cute little touch to it. And this one is like a nice sheer one, so it's a light little detail. You can do double ribbons too. That's like a nice pretty look. But you can do this in so many different ways to fit in with your style. If you're doing more colors than pink, you can add in different colors. You can do like a Candyland theme if you have the pink ones, but this is so nice and so simple. So once I did the ribbon all the way around, like I said, the front and the back, then I'm just going to add little pieces. All right, so you can get these pieces from like Michael's, Hobby Lobby, different places. I'm just going to cut them. They come together like in that bunch like that. I'm just going to cut those, and then I'm just going to take these off the stem. These are so cute. They have like a little sparkle to them, and I had them in my tree. So you get these and you put these in your tree, to fill in your tree. And then I have these ornaments too, and I'm going to take it, I'm going to secure those just like you would secure it to your tree. You would take either the string, or you would take and you would put it in the little piece and then secure it with a branch. You can add in a bunch of different things to fill this in. I just use those simple things to fill mine in. Like I said, you can do like a Candyland theme. You can do so many cute little things with this. So this is how it looks so far. And then for the middle, like I said, I was going to do like a whole little snow theme with this. Like, I'm making a Christmas tree. So I have this cone from the Dollar Tree and then this loop yarn. And then I'm just going to take and I'm going to glue it down in little black pieces because I had did something else and I didn't have enough for it. So I had to tear it off. But so yours won't come with a little black piece on the end. But if you run out before you finish, you can just take and you can just start again. This is real simple. And it kind of creates like that like snowy type look. To me, it does at least. And I just went all the way up to the top and then glued that down. And then I'm just going to decorate it once I'm done, just like you would decorate the tree. So I'm just putting these little, you can see the little balls over there. And those are part two of like a Christmas little sprig that you would put like in your tree, or you would put in your wreath or something like that to decorate. So I'm just going to take it. I'm going to cut the little balls off at the end of those too. And you can find these type pieces a lot of places, or you can just use really tiny little ornaments. They do have those. Dollar Tree has some of those too. And then once you're done, you can glue everything down to make sure everything is nice and secure. So you can glue everything into place once you have figured everything out. And then this is how it is. It is so simple. And you can do this in different colors, different themes. If you like, give it a big old thumbs up, and I
A
will
really
see
easy
you in
Christmas DIY that you might want to try. All right, so you can do these using old boxes like I'm doing, or you can do these using wood blocks. If you want to go down to the home or hardware store, you can just cut down to size some wood blocks. But I'm going to repurpose these boxes that I already have. So I have this old cracker box, and you can fill this with something if you want to make it a little bit heavier, but mine stayed just fine. And then I have some cornbread mix boxes and a shoebox. So I'm just going to wrap them with wrapping paper so you can make these to go along with your decor in your house. Just a cute way to decorate around your tree for Christmas. For the cornbread boxes, I'm going to wrap those together so that they stay in place. And again, I'm just going to wrap those with the wrapping paper. This wrapping paper, I love it. It's really pretty, but because of the glitter, you have to use a really strong tape to keep the pieces together. But this is how it came out. If you were using wood blocks, you can wrap them, or you could just paint them whatever color you wanted them to look like. But for them to look like gifts, I think wrapping paper is the best way to do this. So you just wrap them as pretty as possible, tape them closed. If would like, make sure the tape is like going towards the back of where it will be, so you won't see too much of that. And then you can decorate them like it's like a nice, pretty wrapped gift. You can use bows. I'm going to use some twine, some ribbon, some faux greenery that you can get like from your local craft store. You can get from Dollar Tree, the twine from Dollar Tree. And it's just real simple. And I think the twine adds a little kind of rustic look to it too, but at the same time, it's still giving modern.
if that makes sense. So I wrapped that around a couple of times and then I glued it off. And then I'm going to do all of them to coordinate with each other, but you can do them in different styles, different ways. You can make such pretty bows, especially if you're a good bow maker. You can do that, but you can just do this in so many fun different ways. So we have that one down with the twine, and then I'm just going to add like a little faux bow detail, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take the ribbon and I'm going to glue it in the center there where the twine has like met up, and then cut it and then have another piece on the other side. So it'll look kind of like a tail of a bow, if that makes sense. But if you're good at bow making, you can make yourself a really pretty bow right here and put that on top, or you can buy a really pretty bow and put that on top there too. I also have some ornaments that you can get from Dollar Tree, and Dollar Tree has just put out their Christmas stuff. At least my Dollar Tree has. They have a lot of cute little ornaments, so you can grab some of those, put those on there right now. But I just did it to go along with my personal decor that I had going on for the holiday, and this is how they came out. And this is real fun, and it just adds a nice little piece of decor for the Christmas season. Okay, let's make a quick and easy Christmas themed candle holder. You can do this for any holiday. So I have this candle holder that I got at like the Target closeout section. I think the piece is missing up top because it has a little thing. So I'm going to take one of the Dollar Tree small reforms. They come in a pack of two. And I'm going to take a piece of garland. You'll just need a piece big enough to go around this. So say double the size because you'll be wrapping it around. So this is real easy. I'm using garland that I got from Hobby Lobby or Michael's, but you can use garland from Dollar Tree. So you're just going to just wrap it around just like that, and then, secure it at the beginning and at the end, and then you can just play around with it, fluff it out, make it look nice and neat, and then it kind of just sits there on top because it's filled in. So if you have a candle holder like this should work really well. And then, like I said, I'm just playing around with it just to give it a little neatness. You can leave it just like that, but I do this with my tree too every year. You just add like a little bit of greenery just to give it just another look. So I'm just taking the greenery, that like the faux greenery from like Christmas time, and popping those off the stem and then just poking those in. It's real easy, real simple to do. And you can do different types of greenery too and just give it like a real lush look. And then I'm taking these little beads that I had and these little flowers that I had. You can use little berries. You can use like little bells, you can use bowls, you can use tiny little ornaments, you can use whatever you want to do this. And I'm just doing those just like the leaves, just popping those. And I decided to place it further down to make it easier to work with. But once I was done placing everything around, like I said, the beads, the berries, the flowers, all the different little things, and I have everything in place. And you can place them not just up top, but like in the front, because you're going to be seeing this candle holder from different angles. And then I put a little lantern that I got from Target Dollar Spot in there with a candle, and that is how that looked. And it's just so pretty and simple. Or I put a glass vase from Dollar Tree in there, and that is how that one looks. So you can do this so many different